So I went to Mexico Beach today because at 5 o'clock, Mayor Michele Miller, the new mayor of Mexico Beach, held a press conference in front of City Hall. And she wanted to clarify to residents, voters, and property owners why she has filed a lawsuit against 3 city council members, the city attorney, the city administrator, city officials who have thwarted and impeded her doing her duties as mayor. She is suing them, and she's written or she's had a cease and desist letter delivered to them. And her lawyer is Marie Maddox. So basically, finally, in a city that's in municipal crisis, that is paralyzed, that is late on its annual financial audit, the last 2 of which indicated internal control problems. I've told you, I've shown you, right? Do I need to do it again? Maybe that the mayor in Mexico Beach is the chief elected administrative and fiscal official for the city. It's different than in some of the other cities. And it's different because in Mexico Beach is a mayor-council form of government versus a council-manager form of government, which is what the 3 stooges on the council are pretending they have. That's what Lynn Haven has. That's what Panama City has. That's what Panama City Beach has. But that's not the way it works in Mexico Beach. So, and they've known this for a long time. Last year, when Al Cathey was the mayor, and he had been the mayor for a long time, mostly since 2005. There was a 2-year period where he wasn't, but mostly since 2005. And just last year, he voted and the council voted to give themselves a raise. And the mayor gets a bigger salary than the other council members because the mayor has additional duties. Supervising the administration, supervising the chief elected official, the fiscal duties. But you can't do that when you are blocked from having all financial records by a city administrator or council members. It is unbelievable what's going on in Mexico Beach. So there's a lawsuit. And I read that to you, right? And the demands of the lawsuit. Basically, now you've got, here's the narrative now. Here's the orchestrated play, the skit. Oh, we have to raise ad valorem taxes because the city's got to pay for an expensive lawsuit that the mayor has brought. One resident called it self-inflicted lawsuits against the city. And now, damn it, we've got to pay for it. Can't you just work together? Well, the truth is, ad valorem taxes have not been raised to pay for Mayor Miller's legal fees. That's not true. 0. But I believe the city of Mexico Beach is going to have to get outside counsel because their attorney, Clint McCahill, who last year agreed that the mayor was what it says in the charter, the chief elected administrative and fiscal official for the city, he wrote the ordinance that gave the raise last year to the council members. And again, he knows that that's exactly why the mayor has a higher salary. I think it'll be so interesting, unless the council members and the city attorney, Clint McCahill, and I guess the acting city administrator, Chris Hubbard, whose contract has not been signed by Mayor Miller. All they have to do is, follow the charter and quit impeding the chief elected administrative and fiscal official of the city, and show the invoices and the check register and the credit card receipts where a city that got more than $100 million in FEMA money, where did it go? So she gave a press conference today, and I'm going to show it to you. WMBB was there, WJHG was there, I was there. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you WMBB's coverage of Mayor Miller's press conference, which she delivered outside in the blazing sun. She was standing out in the blazing sun with no shade, like 10 minutes at least before the press conference. So she was pretty sweaty, but it was short. I think she made her points. But that's when all hell broke loose. That's when a heckler took over and drew the attention of the deputies who finally got there. I'll tell you this, for somebody who is new in politics, like Michele Miller, who's the mayor, who was elected in April, on the platform of transparency, making sure residents know where their taxpayer dollars are allocated. And they deserve to have a chief elected administrative official and chief elected fiscal official of the city. They deserve that. They voted for that. So you're not going to believe this heckler. Now, being a novice, I don't know if she asked. She should have. I guess in Mexico Beach, they don't have a police department. The sheriff's office goes to the meetings and I guess enforces the law in Mexico Beach. So there was going to be a planning and zoning meeting an hour after the press conference. And so you had some deputies who were going to be there for the meeting. But there should have been a deputy there, as there always is at city meetings or functions like this, And I asked one of the deputies about it because in the video I'm going to show you, my video, I said the sheriff's office is derelict. Where the hell are they? I saw him drive by, and I asked one of them, and he said, "Look, we didn't want to just like crowd the place with deputies. It's a controversial issue, but we got here when there was a problem." Okay. Maybe they weren't asked. Maybe she didn't ask him. But I will say that what ought to be happening in Mexico Beach, just like any other city, I know it's just some broad has got defeated Al Cathy, But even broad mayors, should be treated with the same respect as the guys. And I've seen many mayors say, "I want this person removed. I want this." They threaten me all the time. "You keep it up, Thompson, I'll have the deputy take you out." Boy, I straighten right up. How come she doesn't get that same respect and authority? I'm looking into it. I'm looking into it. But they had to show up because this heckler went nuts. He even shoved a lady. They looked at the videos, the deputies, and does anybody need to be charged? The only people who wanted to press charges was the heckler himself and his wife. "I want him arrested. I want her arrested." But even the lady who kind of got shoved by the heckler, she said, "Look, I don't want to press any charges, but geez, I guess no harm, no foul." And I think that was the right call. I didn't see any intent. Now, you know how it works. Put your hands on somebody, you can be charged for it's battery, actually, not just assault. But, and they could have. I do think the two deputies made the right call. I do. I don't think anybody should have been arrested. But I do think this could have been nipped in the bud a hell of a lot earlier. I'll show you what I mean. I'm going to show you the WMBB beginning of this press conference. And then I'm going to show you the when all hell broke loose. And that'll be from my video right after this.
You want to look good? You want to feel good? Little John's Big and Tall is where it's at. Right across the street from Sky's Pizza Pie, 5700 North Davis Highway. You can find out more online at littlejohnsbigandtall.com. He's also a member of the iTex trading community, where your iTex dollars are welcome.
When your life is on the line, hire the lawyer who lives in our community, works in our community, and worships in our community. I'm Al Saulene, your Panama City Beach lawyer. 850-215-0628.
All right, here is Mayor Michele Miller explaining to the residents why she has taken these legal actions against these certain city officials.
All right, once again, I want to thank you for joining us. I called this press conference to clarify for the residents and property owners of Mexico Beach why I have been forced to bring forth a lawsuit. I have provided you copies with 3 documents today. And one of those documents is the lawsuit, a cease and desist letter, and a legal opinion from our former city attorney. Our city charter is located online on our city website. You're welcome to find.
I want to point something out in case you're not sure who's right in this situation. Is this a power grab? Is she doing what no other mayor's ever tried to do? All that stuff. Her position is exactly the position of the longstanding legal opinion of the city, and that's this one right here. This right here, written by Harrison Sale McCloy in 2015. That's the one that I showed you that explains that the formal creation of a city manager position, look right in the middle where the star is, should not be interpreted to have established a council manager form of government by removing the mayor's powers and granting them to the city administrator. So Mayor Miller's position is exactly the position of the city. I mean, isn't that amazing? All right, back to it.
Find that there. I can not give you any details today about the litigation beyond what is covered in those documents that are being handed out. This press conference is not intended to litigate this case at all in the media. So I will tell you, since I've been elected in April of this year, I feel I've done everything that I possibly could to settle this issue without litigation. However, certain members of the city council, city administrator, and city attorney have done everything to thwart or subvert my charter authority as mayor. Under the charter, the mayor is elected chief administrative officer for the city. The mayor is elected chief fiscal officer for the city and serves as a council member, as a presiding officer, as well as having the additional duties of being a voting member on the council. I ran on the platform of transparency and accountability, and several citizens have asked over the past 4 months multiple times about a forensic audit and more transparency in our government. I spent the last 4 months since being elected attempting to fulfill that campaign promise with more transparency and accountability in our city government here in Mexico Beach. My efforts, again, have been thwarted because of the council's unethical and possibly unlawful behaviors.
You hear that? Okay, that's where the heckler starts yelling, and I'm going to show you a different angle. So when she said because of some of the council members' unethical and possibly unlawful actions. The heckler said, ma'am, that is an accusation, and this is when all hell breaks loose. I want to answer this, though. I see this comment here. Paula says, you're not telling the whole truth. Now, I want to tell the whole truth, Paula. I don't want to tell a half-truth or a third of the truth. Like Councilman Adrian Welly, when he says this, Paula, remember when Councilman Adrian Welly says, if you look at the charter, it says that the council, that the charter shall provide all authority to the council, right? But see, then Adrian Welly stops Councilman Welly, and he does not say, except as otherwise provided in the charter. And then you go to section 2.07. See, this is what I'm talking about. Here, let me get your comment off there for just a moment. You see that right there? See, Adrian Welly always, you talk about only telling part of the truth. All powers of the city shall be vested in the city council. And then he stops. Mic drop, he says. Except, you see that, as otherwise provided by law or by this charter. And furthermore, the council shall provide for the exercise thereof in the performance of all duties and obligations imposed on the city by law. This is where they're violating the law. And then again, that is where the charter designates this authority to her. Her neck is on the line. The buck stops with the mayor. So let me answer your question, because I don't want to only give a half truth there. Okay, I'm not telling the whole truth. Just like before. I didn't tell the whole truth before either. Please make sure you ask for tomorrow meeting emails that she will receive. Okay, FEMA only send money after thorough reviews. Your homework and tell the truth. Okay. I know that. I know it goes through lots and lots of reviews, just like it did in Lynn Haven when city manager Michael White, working with contractor Mickey White, stole as much as $5 million from the city of Lynn Haven, and it had lots of thorough reviews. All right. I did a show about 2 weeks ago. Watch it, where they brought the consultant up there. And Adrian Welly, the councilman, said, look at all those reviews. Tell us about all the reviews. And the FEMA consultant said, well, we receive it from the contractor. So we just have to trust the contractor. If you are implying that there are too many reviews for corruption to take place, that is silly. That is, these two guys are in prison now for doing just that. Okay, that's silly. And nobody would have known about it unless they got the invoices and saw how much they were charging the city. So that's just goofy. Okay. Now, it's also true that these are reimbursements. But whether it's a reimbursement or not, the city received more than $100 million of FEMA money. What the people want to know, Paula, is not just that $49 million went toward debris cleanup. They want to know, they want to see the invoices. How much were the employees paid to do debris cleanup? How many employees were there? How many companies? How much per day did that company receive? There's a lot of questions that need to be answered. Now that, Paula, is the whole truth. All right. Let's see here. Let's see. I thought we were talking about the charter and the lawsuit. Stay on topic. Okay. I just wanted to make sure let's get to the heckler, right? Okay. To the heckler. All right. Let's see. Oh, Oh, this is gonna be good here to the heckler. And it's gonna be my camera. Like, it's gonna switch views. I go right up to where the action is and show it to you. Can I just thank 2 more sponsors before I do this? It's a hot time in Florida, and my friend Ryan can make sure your air conditioning is running at peak efficiency. He could even install a new one, built to a higher standard, American standard. Find out more at pcairrepair.com. Don't let back pain and neck pain get you down. Find relief at Brown Chiropractic Center on St. Andrews Boulevard in Panama City. Dr. Sherry Brown helps people heal naturally with chiropractic adjustments and deep tissue massage. Call 769-3777. All right, so you saw where she said that, and now we're going to switch views. This is my camera. Here is the heckler.
And possibly unlawful behaviors.
Ma'am, that's an accusation. You can't prove that.
I
You said
have
this wasn't going to be political.
found, I have filed a writ mandamus
You're wrong.
requesting the court system to enforce our charter and lift the restrictions these council members are attempting to place on the mayor's position.
Did they vote?
I am
Did you
going
not get
to
voted
ask
down?
you to refer to the
Get out.
writ and the letter,
Stay back.
both of which are available for you. I want to again assure that the residents of Mexico Beach, as well as the property owners here in Mexico Beach, that this action that I'm taking is not easy for me to do, and I'm taking it not for me. I'm taking it because it's both a necessity and for the benefit of our city only.
What have you did
I
for the
am
city so
not
far? What have you
seeking
did for the city? Except
monetary
argue and fight.
relief.
Shut up.
Simply asking the court to enable me to do my job you elected me to perform. Apparently this young man did. But I want to thank you all for being here. I know it's an unusual situation, but I can assure you it is necessary. It is a very necessary last resort action in order to get the city back on track. The documents that you have are very extensive and probably will answer all your questions. Since I can't make comments beyond those documents, I am not going to take questions at this time. So thank you again for being here.
We knew that was coming.
Well, I can answer your questions one-on-one, sir.
Yeah, okay. Why are you raising taxes to pay for lawyer fees? Answer my question. See, she lied. She's lied to you all along. Thank you, sir.
Hold on.
Sorry. Okay, I need to be very, I want to make sure you have the facts too, right? She's not raising taxes to pay her lawyer fees. Okay. None of that is true. She never asked, if you watch the budget meeting or whatever it was, she's never asked the city to raise the taxes to pay her lawyer fees. Now, if these officials continue to violate the rule of law and just flout the charter and put the city in a municipal crisis, if the only action that a mayor can take is that a court has to decide. And remember what her lawsuit is. Her lawsuit is not a lawsuit for money, right? It's not a civil lawsuit where you've hurt me, you've hurt my reputation, so I want, 50 grand or 100 grand. It's not that. This particular lawsuit is there's 2 things here. It's known as a writ of mandamus and an injunction. She's a petitioner. And what that means, best I can tell, all right, writ of mandamus means you got to start doing the right thing, and injunction means you got to stop doing the wrong thing. All right? So none of this would be happening if all of a sudden the council and the 3 councilmen and the city attorney and the city administrator if all of a sudden they were, weren't saying the opposite of what they were saying last year when Al Cathy was there. So, look, in my opinion, the real cost is a city or goes to the residents when you have city officials brazenly violating the supreme law of the city, and that's the charter. And if the only way you can fix it is to file a lawsuit and issue through a lawyer cease and desist letters, that's what you have to do. So the guy is factually wrong here. If he's factually right, I'm going to tell, even if he's saying it in a hostile way, if he's right, I'm going to tell you he's right, but he's wrong about this.
I've got Marie Maddox on the phone, the attorney.
Michael sent that in the office at 5.999.
Mayor Miller.
Always planned to be 5.999.
Wow. Now this is interesting.
Okay.
All right. He works for the attorney, Marie Maddox. He has Marie Maddox on FaceTime. The lawyer herself is on FaceTime right here. And he's going to show it to the news. The lawyer is on FaceTime. He works for her. Watch this.
I've got Marie. I've got Marie Maddox on Zoom or on FaceTime with us. The city administrator and the city council members who voted to raise the taxes have done that on their own, correct?
Michele, whatever her name is.
So the city administrator and the city council members who wanted to raise the taxes wanted to do that on their own.
No,
There
it was to pay
is-
for her attorney. That's what she asked the city council to do.
That's the talking.
No, she never did that.
No. You guys hide behind everything you want. She's
Okay.
been deceitful since she started her job.
Following the city charter, the
No, she's not
constitution of the
following
city is
nothing.
deceitful.
Now here's where he's going to shove this lady. Watch this.
With the 2015 legal-
She does get in his way, but watch.
Don't block my views. Don't block my views.
Don't hit her.
Sir,
Where's the police?
Now this prompts two other men to come up.
You get your hands on my wife.
I'll have you arrested.
You're pushing it too
I'll
far.
have you arrested.
No, you
Put my
pushing it
hands
too
on
far.
her. I will put charges on
She
you.
doesn't.
I will
She's
put
the one that
charges on
put it
you.
in.
you're pushing it too far.
Hey, I've got the right. Freedom of speech.
This is a personal matter. It's not me. By the advice of my attorney, I am able to tell you this, that I have not.
What? Yeah, did you hear him? He said, shut up.
But can I call 911 and have this removed? This is disruptive.
Hey,
See, and here's where Mayor Miller says, can somebody call 911 and have this man removed? So this is an official city event, right? And if he's preventing her from doing the press conference, a mayor presiding over the city in an official meeting can ask the deputies to, this guy's disrupting the event, please have him removed. But there's no deputies there. And that might be because she didn't think to call and invite them. I don't know why, but it would have been nice to have it nipped in the bud. As far as the freedom of speech, I've become an expert on this. I've been through a lawsuit on this, all right? And the way it works, all right, according to case law, and this is how it works, you actually have more freedom of speech on a street corner than you do during an official city meeting. Here's why. The courts have said that the government can limit three things: the time, place, and manner of your speech during a meeting so that city business can be done. In other words, a government cannot regulate or limit your speech because they don't like it. But if the manner of speech, the time of the speech, and the place of the speech are such that they are interrupting the meeting, then the government can have you removed. Just so you know that. Be on the right side of the law, okay? This guy's not, but there aren't any deputies there.
The sheriff's office is derelict. The sheriff drove by and they won't do anything.
Now I want to make sure I tell you this. They told me later, one of the deputies told me later, Sergeant, he said, look, we didn't want to, this was a press conference. We didn't want to come up and, sort of crowd it. I don't get the feeling they were invited to be there, but they got there eventually. All right. So I'm going to walk back where I said they were derelict, because I might be wrong about that. If they were invited and they weren't there, then yes, but I don't think they were. So I take that back.
Did you ask the city to pay for your lawyer?
No, sir.
Michelle, that's in writing.
This is the attorney. You want to talk to
I
me?
didn't say the attorney. I said,
talk
did
to
she
her?
ask?
You're the one out here putting your hands on people. Do you
I
want
never
to
put
talk?
my hand on nobody.
You just put your hand on 3 people.
No, they touched me, sir. You got a little backwards.
No, you've been standing here.
That's right.
So
She was going to answer
it's okay.
one-on-one.
You have put your hands on several people.
No.
If you want civil discourse, that's through voice, not
Sir,
through putting your hands on
I
people.
didn't put my hands on nobody.
There's several witnesses here who saw that.
Look at your damn video.
Look,
Yeah,
it's
I
okay.
never touched
That's
nobody
on
unless they
FaceTime.
got in my face.
You see that right there? That's
Yeah.
the media. They saw you put
That's
your hands on
fine.
people.
Film me.
Okay.
She's deceitful, hateful, and resentful. Yes, most hateful person I've ever seen.
Wait a minute, replay this, because he said she's the most hateful person he's
Yes.
ever seen. He needs to
You gotta forgive me. That is what a great life he has. The most hateful person he's ever seen in his whole life. Look, I admit that I can be a little over the top sometimes. All right. I'm a bit much. I know sometimes I exaggerate things. I'm hyperbolic, maybe even histrionic. But I don't remember saying that any of these officials are the most hateful person I ever met in my whole life. All right, forgive me. It's good to laugh every now and then.
We had a good community till she got elected.
That is not true, sir.
It is. You
As
don't
long-
know.
Here,
Because she didn't get her way. That's what's wrong. Hey, you want my name? It's Benny Hughes, and I stand up.
All right. Good for you, sir.
Stay around. We'd like to see you stay around. Stay around.
It's okay.
We got plenty of witnesses here.
That just shows what I told you
All right,
about her.
so, I believe in truth and justice. What you're doing is unjust.
Can I say something? And I look, this is just something I've seen. Is it just me, or do ladies get it rough in Bay County? It seems like every time I look up, if a woman's been elected in a position of power, the good old boys flip out. I've seen Vice Mayor Richard Iron Fist Wolf lean into her and yell at her. I saw in Panama City Beach, I mean, I could go on and on. John Riekert call Vice Mayor Josie Strange a bitch. I've seen Mayor Mike Thomas call Josie Strange a waitress. And God knows how they treated Margot Anderson, the most popular mayor in all of Bay County ever. I mean, shoving ladies in the crowd and shouting and being so aggressive. Guys, I got to tell you something. The way we talk to each other, I mean, yeah, I get it. You know, we get a little demonstrative. We lean into each other. But you really shouldn't be having that. I mean, we shouldn't do that with each other either. Okay. But when a man is speaking like this to a woman who's been elected to represent the city as the charter mandates, she's responsible if some of that money was wrongly spent and she eventually does not do her duty and responsibility, it's her they're going to haul away. I just got to tell you, I have never seen a place where good old boys. I mean, if the Heckler could have sent her to Chattahoochee, she'd be gone. If this was 1965, Jack, we wouldn't tolerate this around here, would we, guys? This broad's out of control. Send it to Chattahoochee. It's just something all right, enough of that. Let's get back to it.
No, it's freedom of speech. You ever
Yes,
heard of
sir.
that?
You want to shut up a minute and let me have my speech?
You done did?
All right. So here's the deal, guys. 5.99 is on your tax bill. We talked about 5.99 the whole time. Not a penny, not one penny of this city is going to like this. No, not one penny of taxpayer money.
Oh, look at that. Okay, so I want to show that. So the deputies have shown up, all right? And the Heckler's wife is telling the deputies to arrest other people. Watch this. Which they did not do, by the way. Thankfully.
It's all on camera, all over. He especially has it.
Uh-oh. Especially me.
Yes, I did.
She said she was done.
Yeah, and
was
she
done
said she
and
was going to
taking
take
no
questions.
questions. So don't
No.
say no.
All right. So let's just do this the way it's going to be. All right.
We'll go.
Who do you want to do anything with?
Oh, yeah. Charge him
Okay.
and there was another one.
I want him arrested, throw him in. I want all my. Oh. You know, the other people who actually got shoved, they said, look, we don't need to watch. We don't need to press charges. Everybody's just fired up right now. She wants them gone. Him.
Blocking view, getting in people's way like this and in people's face.
Whoa.
Go away. I disrupted. That's my wife got it on film.
Yes, they got it.
I just saw you use force on her. Okay. This man right here put his hands on 3 people, told them to shut up.
Yes, I did.
Interrupted.
There is a
I did interrupt.
I do want to say too, look, this sergeant has a hell of a lot more. I don't have any experience in law enforcement, and he has a lot. All right, so I might be wrong. He's the one who corrected me about. I do not believe they were derelict for not being there unless they were invited, and I don't think they were. But I will say that if I roll up on a scene like this, and it's a press conference, and it's a city event, and the mayor is running it, and it's out of hand, I'm going to go to the mayor, not the people who are, not the Heckler. I'm not going to the Heckler and saying, who do you want arrested? I'm going to go to the mayor and say, ma'am, we're here for you. What's going on? what I think.
I did.
But right now, like I said, I'm trying to separate everybody out and figure out who's doing what. Okay.
Ask the mayor.
Not go to use and force on
I'm
people.
good with that. All right.
And I'm okay
All right.
with interruptions, sir.
All right.
Apparently not.
On you. Do you have anybody or anything that you want to press charge on anybody with? Okay, you're good. All right. So do me a favor and have a stand over there. How about you?
I don't want to press charges against
Okay,
anybody.
perfect.
I just want him to be
You?
quiet.
You're good. You.
Well, I want to say that Michele Miller is the one that said, I'm going to call and have you removed. That's when it all started.
Wait. Now a lady tells the deputy that it all started when Michele Miller, the mayor, said, I want to have you removed. That's when it started. It didn't start before. When the heckler was heckling and, kind of nudging, I'll call it nudging people, ladies. That lady just said it all started when Michele Miller said, I want these people removed. Look, listen to this part.
You're good. You.
Well, I want to say that Michele Miller is the one that said, I'm going to call and have you removed. That's when it all started. Because she was saying, I want
No, I was already saying I didn't agree with it.
It don't matter if you agree with me.
I've got the right to say that.
You got it right.
That's right. You ever heard
Well, the great thing about this is I've got like 37 cameras here. I've got all this down, so we all
freedom
deal
of
with
speech?
exactly who
Freedom
what
of
to
speech.
who. Well, and unfortunately, here's the deal. Okay, it's a public forum. You're on public property in front of City Hall. Now,
But it's like in any other meeting I have, sir. You know it as well as I do. When people are disruptive, I've asked to have them removed.
I can step out on the street.
so, all right, so,
I find this very just case.
okay. Let me get some information
You
from
on
you.
there,
real quick.
everybody.
I'm gonna need to get some information from you. Okay? And then we can let these people get back to doing what it is they need to do.
No, I've got the right to say my opinion. You don't understand it.
You do when you're asked for.
No,
or somebody
no,
when
don't
some-
say-
when somebody
He
says
does
you're
have,
allowed to
you
talk.
do have the right to speak your
right.
mind. However,
I got to
sir,
anytime I
sir,
want.
can I have a minute?
No,
No?
I don't need talking.
You don't want to hear from
I
another
don't
point
want to
of view.
hear from you, sir. You're the one that started all the trouble.
I asked
He sort of reminds me of that Lee Elzy on the planning board that just started yelling at me. Yeah. Just the arrogance and the condescension, that's a certain sort of attitude. You don't belong around here. The heckler just said you started the whole problem to the guy.
No, she said she'd take answer and she walked off. She did say she'd take her.
She started getting. You got her info?
Not yet. I was trying to figure out if we had charges first.
And then,
No, there won't be.
and then get his info too. While I get his.
All right, give me just a few minutes. Get everybody's information. If you guys get me your driver's license,
On 7.
All right, that's enough. You can see the whole thing. The rest of it goes on probably 8 more minutes or so. I turned my camera off when the other deputy that just walked away. He came up and asked me if he could see my video and decide whether or not anybody had been assaulted or battered. And I think they made a good decision, the 2 deputies. They definitely could have arrested the heckler. And maybe somebody else, but definitely the heckler. They could do. I think the officers used good judgment, right? I do. I don't think anybody should have gone. It's a big deal arresting. Yeah, Barney, he put his hands on a senator. I don't like the guy. Well, I'm not particularly fond of the dude either, whoever he is. But I don't think he should be cuffed and stuffed for that. Okay. I think And again, a brand new person at a job, Michele Miller, who I think, by the way, is taking the action needed to get the city to start abiding by the rule of law and stop hiding the invoices and the credit card receipts and all the other stuff. And I think that she's doing all she can. Do you know anybody else willing to put themselves in terribly uncomfortable positions like that over and over and over? That's why people don't get into politics. A lot of respect for that. And all I want is to see every city be transparent and follow the damn law. Stop playing favorites. All that stuff. And I think that she's did a really good job. Now, if there are lessons to be learned, I'd say, first of all, don't stand in the blazing sun. But, we can quibble about that. But, evidently there needs to be a bailiff around, a deputy around. And the mayor of the city gets to say, they're disrupting this public function here. Can you please move them? I'm not saying arrest, but just remove them from so we can continue with the proceeding is what I'm saying. So that's a lesson learned. But overall, Mexico Beach just might get some transparency through this lawsuit and cease and desist. And I think the mayor should have told the residents and the property owners and the voters exactly why she's doing this, what's the purpose, and she did. So I'll tell you what, if more public officials in more cities and counties made the effort that Michele Miller's making as the mayor, I think things would be a lot better. Don't you? All right, I'm going to read the rest of your comments when I get after the show, because I've missed a bunch of. But I do want to thank, of course, the Unknown Patriot for your support of my efforts, the Unknown Patriot, and I also want to thank all of you who crowdfund my efforts by becoming a patron and sending me a tip and saying, "Bernie, keep going. It's the best." You got to admit, $5 a month. Being a patron, saying, "I'll support your show for $5 a month since you don't work for anybody but us." And we know you got to keep the lights on in the Liberty Lounge. $5 a month, best money you'll spend on the internet to support my efforts. Thank you to those of you who do. Patreon.com/Bernie Thompson. It is easy. It is anonymous. It's always important. And it is, you can quit at any time. So thank you as well. All right, I'm going to wrap it up. But before I do, I made this for you. Oh, if I start rhyming, it's going to get real good. I made this for you. They're actually $34.99. You say, holy moly, $34.99 for a hat? Look, I'm trying to support the show here, and I want to give you a chance to get something for it. BernieStore.etsy.com. BernieStore.etsy.com. If you want to make a statement, they hate this hat. They really don't like it. See, they walk out. I don't like the hat. BernieStore.etsy.com if you want your forensic. They come in different colors too. And I sure would appreciate it. All right, with that, I'm going to wrap it up. Isn't that a crazy day? All right, I'll see you soon.